Alright folks, Cam Hawkins here from Trading Art. Welcome to this video where I'm going to walk you through one of my latest robot lab builds. In fact, it is the latest robot lab build for my Robot Builders Club. So what does that mean? It means that I've automated a strategy. I've turned it into a fully automated trading robot for the MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms. I do this once a month, and this robot here is available for the month of October. So if you join, what does that mean? It means if you join my Robot Builders Club in October 2021, you'll get access to this. You'll be able to download it, you'll be able to use it, you'll get access to the source code of it, so you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can improve, tweak it, etc. So today you guys are going to learn the strategy. You're going to also see some of the test results that I've managed to generate using this particular robot that I've built, and some of the hacks that I've found around the Fibonacci levels, which I don't know if you're going to know them or not, but hey, it's going to be interesting regardless. So here's how the strategy works to start off with. Let's go through it. Now you can see here on the chart, you've got a Fibonacci indicator here. It's in crimson, which is not probably the easiest to see, but you can pretty much see here, you've got the 0 level there, you've got the 100 there. Now, why have I drawn it this way? It's actually based on the prior day. So this between here and here is a prior day, and let me get my little drawing tool out to show you how it pieces together. So you've got your prior day, which is between these two lines here. Now we're looking at the low of the day to the high of the day, and we're going to draw our fib from there to there in the next day. So we've got sort of our levels that we're looking for based on the prior day. Now this is really a day trading strategy, so we're looking at a lower time frame entry on the prior day's fib levels. That's how it works. You can see here there's another line going in this direction. That one I've hidden for now, but there's also a upward sloping fib which looks for buy trades. So the maroon the crimson one here is looking for the sell trades. The other one going the other way is looking for the buy trades. So how does this thing enter a trade, and what does it sort of make its decisions on? So the way I've worked it is we're looking at either the close or the open of the current day or the close of the prior day. So let's just focus on the close of the prior day. So you can actually toggle between these two. If you want to see if the open works better or the close works better, you can try those, no problems. I've built that into the robot. Now we've got the close here, so let's just mark out that level going through into the next day. You can see here that that fits between, or falls between, this range here, which is the 23 to the 61.8 fib. What does that mean? It means that I've actually highlighted that as the range of interest for me. I'm looking at that range to be broken out of in this current day on the hourly time frame, the lower time frame, in this case the hourly, at which point I'll enter a trade, or the robot will enter a trade in that direction of the breakout. Now we've got the selling fib here drawn, so you can see here the 100 level, oh, wrong thing. You can see here the 100 level and the 61.8 level. So these are our targets, and you're going to see how that works in a second. If we're going to be breaking out of the buy box, which will be slightly different, and if I get rid of all this stuff here and bring that back to life, and give this, oh, it's the wrong color. Let's actually make this one nothing and do the other one and make that green. And you can toggle these boxes on and off on the, that's much clearer. You can toggle these boxes on and off in the EA. So if you do want to see them on the chart, it will draw them for you. If you don't want to see them when you're doing sort of serious back testing, you can hide them as well. So this is the buy box. So you can see here that in this case, if we go back to the print screen thing here, so you can actually have a look. In this case, the zone here that we're focused on is not going to be giving us an entry signal here, because our level for the close is actually above that. So we're actually not going to be looking for a buy trade. In this case, we've only got an entry for a possible entry for a sell trade. So let's have a look at how this plays out, and we'll bring back that other fib to life. So let's give it its color back. Let's go with red, just so it's really bright. Okay, so let's hit play on this test and see what happens. So as you can see, we're waiting for a price to break out of this level here, and it does actually do it on this particular day. There we go. So let's just stop this. So this is for the bearish trade. So we can see here we've broken out of the 61.8, and as soon as that candle closes on the hourly time frame, now you could change that time frame to like a 5-minute or a 15-minute if you want it to be tighter to the 61.8. I've just done the testing on an hourly. Now you enter the sell trade there. Your stop goes at the top of the range. So the 23.6 was the other side of the range. Stop goes there. We enter the trade, and the first take profit is to be determined, but in this case I've set it at the 100, and the second take profit is at 161.8. So that's how we're going to get in this trade and get out of the trade. You can see here if we keep playing this out, it will hit that second take profit. So it does, and that's how it works. Now you can split the two trades, and in fact it is two trades. You can split the amount you risk on these two trades up as well. So you might want to take a more percentage on the first exit than the second. So for example, if you're going to trade one lot for the position, you might want to take 0.5 here and 0.5 there, or you might want to take 0.75 here and 0.25 there. So you've got that ability to work out how you want to trade the volumes within the different take profit levels. Oh, there is one other factor here. So you can actually set it to take a break even if the trade is going is taking the first take profit. So we've hit that take profit 1. Now we've got the runner, at which point, at the time it exits this first trade, we can actually automatically turn on a thing that will set the break even point to somewhere here, that the second trade will, if it comes back from here and boom, it'll take us out at a break even instead of going back and hitting us at a stop loss. Now the one that I'm running at the moment is just using the default, so it hasn't got that, but let's have a look through and show you a buy trade example, and then I'll show you the break even and maybe something else as well. We've got the buy trade here, so it's close to sell trade. We've got the buy trade here. Now why did this buy trade trigger? Let's just go through the rules again to show you why it triggered. It triggered because we had the close of the prior day's candle here, and that fell within that range. You can see here we fell within the 23.6 to the 61.8, and we know we're waiting for a breakout of the 61.8 for a trade. At which point there's a very small breakout here. We get into the trade and we put our stop at the bottom of the range, exit at the 100 fib level, and the second trade is going to exit at the 161.8 fib level. Let's play that out and show you how it works. Okay, so there you go, you got your second take profit. Now the beauty of this is you can actually change these levels to be non-fib levels. So this is the hack that I mentioned at the start. So let's just jump into the settings for a second. Okay, so here are the settings, guys. So you've got the higher time frame that we're going to trade. Now daily is really recommended for this particular strategy, simply because of a few other factors like the start and end times that really work with a day trade as opposed to a 4-hour trade or even a weekly trade. So that there, the time start and end time does restrict it to day, which is not a bad thing because it's quite a good sort of benchmark. Now you can actually toggle, as I mentioned, between the open versus the close of the day to be your entry level to work out whether or not you're in a range or not. So toggling that to true will give you the open, leaving it at false will give you the close. Now the entry time frame, so as I mentioned, you could drop that down to like 5 minutes or 15 minutes, 4 hours if you wanted to even. It's up to you really, so you can have a play with that. So I've only really focused on the 1 hour, especially with my testing. Now these two work together, so the fixed lots and the risk percent, so you can have either a risk percentage of your account balance. So in this case we'll be risking 1% of the account balance per trade, or you could use a fixed lots. Now you can toggle them on and off by making this 0, and then that sort of triggers this one to work. So if you wanted to have like 0.01 or whatever per trade, then it will split that up instead of splitting the risk lots up. Now the this here initial trade volume percent. So the initial trade, which is the first trade we're going to exit, is going to take a percentage of whatever you have here. So in this case, we're taking 50% of 1% of your account on the first trade. Okay, so we're going to take that off the table as soon as we, the trades will be split up into 1% of the account. So in fact, they'll be 0.5% of the account per trade. Okay, so you can have a play with that. So if you want the initial trade to take off more, you could put that to 75 or 90% or something and let the other one just run. And if it, hits take profit, great. If it doesn't, then you might be happy with the stop. It's up to you. Now, these 4 things here, well, actually, let's just focus on these 2 here, are your entry zones. So I've called them Fib entry level 1 and level 2. So 23.6, 61.8. So you can actually change these. This is the hack. You can change these to anything you want. So they don't necessarily need to be a fib level. And you don't even need the fib indicator on the chart because it's just a calculation, right? So I've built the calculation into the bot for speedier back testing and all that sort of cool stuff. So these could be any levels at all. They don't need to be fibs. And in fact, what I've found out is using other kind of levels are actually working better than using fib levels. So here we go. Other things that we've got here below this, and the same applies in terms of this hack. They don't need to be fib levels. This is your take profit 1 level and your take profit 2 level. So we've got the 161.8. So you can have a play with those as well. And in fact, I've found that using different levels other than fibs tends to work better. Now this is the break even. So if you do want to use break even, turn that to true, and then now that first trade that gets exited at 50% in this case of the risk will be we'll move the stop to break even plus 1.5 pips for the second trade. So that's how that works. So you could play with that and make that 10 pips, 5 pips, whatever it is. The start and end time is when we're going to start looking for trade entries for this particular strategy, and the end time is when we're going to stop looking for trade entries. You can toggle on and off days of the week if you don't want to trade certain days, and then the toggle for the fibs is if you just want to see the fibs on the chart when you're running this, really in a back test, or you could do it on the live chart as well. If you set that to true, you can see them. If you turn it to false, then it doesn't load them at all, which is better for back testing. So in a nutshell, that is how the bot works. Now let's jump into have a look at some of the results that I've pulled out of the testing. So this is Euro US dollar. Some positives, negatives. The profit factor is not huge here. The number of trades, you've got to divide those by 2 because we've got 2 trades running at the same time. And the profit trades, 73%. I believe with most of these we're running a break-even rule, so that's why the average profit here can be lower than the average loss, because the break-even trades are going to be like 1.5 pips. So that's just some context around this. This one actually looks pretty good. It grew the account by 70% in 6 years. Now this is CJ, so this one not as good in terms of a linear curve. It's a little bit stagnation. It's a little bit stagnant over periods. So we've got only really 2 upward spikes here. Not as many trades as well. So this one here, I might not actually run this on a live because you're just going to be sort of treading water for so long. I'm probably going to leave this one alone. Now this is US dollar JPY. This one here has a little bit more promise. It did grow the account by 70% over that time period. The profit factor is still not flash. Had quite a number of trades. Remember, that's about 500 really. Win rate was quite high. It's very similar to the sort of first one with where it was EU. I would be tempted to run this one alongside EU, but just because it is a bit more consistent in terms of how it's moving up in a linear fashion. There's not too many bits of stagnation. I mean, it's not the best curve at all overall, but I would probably run it alongside it. So let's just say I'll run it. Okay, let's have a look at the last one. Okay, so this is GBPUSD. Now this one here struggled a bit at the start and then did sort of take off and gave us quite a nice looking curve here to end off with. Once again, profit factor not great. Similar kind of thing, 70%. The winning trades are half the winning trades are half the losing trades, but that's because the break-even rule's in place. We did have about 750 trades here, so quite a number of trades, good sample size. Tempted to run this one. Well, I will run this one, I think, with the other 2. So we've got 3 running over the course of a month. If you're following me on Instagram and the likes, we'll see how this thing goes, and I'll give you guys an update, or maybe here on the channel in the next video that comes out. So guys, that's it for the Freak bot. If you do want to get access to it, here's what you need to do. All right, guys, to get hold of this bot, you need to join my Robot Builders Club in the month of October, right? So it's going up as part of my Robot Lab in October, and it's there for 1 month to get access to. Afterwards, it disappears, but you will still have access to the 30 plus other robots in there. I think there's maybe even 40 now that you'll be able to do exactly the same thing with, which is get access to the source code, put it in FX Streamer, have a play with it, build it out, expand it, contract it, however you want to do it. I mean, this is for you guys, for the benefit of sticking around to the end of the video. This is what this robot actually looks like in FX Streamer. So this is just the buy side of it. So this is what it looks like. This is how I've built it. So this is what you'll be learning to build. It's actually not that hard once you know the skills and the strategies that I teach, which have taken me 7 years to come up with. So guys, it's part of the Robot Builders Club. If you do want to enroll, you need to hit me up by email. Let me know that you're keen. Please take my free training first. There's links below the video for both the free training or to come on board and find out more about this program here. You've got all sorts of bonuses that come included, some customer success stories here, frequently asked questions, go through those, and then the full course outline is here as well, including all those bonuses. And you can even have a look at some of the older Robot Lab builds if you do want to find out what they are all about. So guys, yeah, doors are going to be closing on this soon. I'm only taking on a few members a month, so if you want to be one of those guys, then hit me up on cam@tradingnut.com or click the links below and take the free training, then see if it's right for you. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Remember, hit subscribe, hit like, and click on that notifications bell, and we'll see you in the next video.